30 Minutes with Ron. Welcome. I'm Ron Gagliardi. I'm the host of 30 Minutes with Ron, and I have a guest today. I know a little bit about him because I've had him on the show before, and I would like to introduce to you James W. Hawk. Thanks for being with us today. I'd like to find out a little bit about your background.
Well, Ron, thanks for having me.
Okay.
I appreciate that. As far as my background is concerned, I just turned 80, Ron. You have time for this?
Oh, gee, that could take a while.
But anyway, for the sake of the show, let's go back maybe 18 years ago when I first retired.
Okay.
I retired from work and I need something to do. What can I do? So I decided to become a filmmaker. And I've
Nice.
made plenty of films. I've had 2 award winners, 2 finalists, 4 semi-finalists. Had one shown at a art exhibition in Italy. So anyway, I'm doing that, and I'm really not getting the attention that I need, the support. So I decided, well, what can I do in support of that? I decided that I'd become an author.
Why not?
If I can't get people's attention with the films, I'll write books and see if I can get their attention there. So since then, I've written 12 books. In addition to that, I've done digital art on a website called Fine Art America.
Mm-hmm.
And as of right now, I have 242,000
Wow.
visitors. Oh, yeah.
That's
In less than 10 weeks, I expect to be at 250,000 visitors.
wow. I can't believe. I do believe it, but it's hard to get to that level.
I know
Yeah,
it is. It's,
yeah.
it's surprising me too. And by the way, here's the picture. It's the Black Dog Pier
Yeah.
on Martha's Vineyard.
Right.
That's the one that's the most viewed.
Beautiful.
And so that's what I've been doing.
All right. Well, let's go to the main thing, the books.
Okay.
I managed to get published as an author with Arcadia, but we're not talking about me. But there's a difference between published and self-published. You got to be self-published and successful at it. Tell us how you did it.
Wow. Well, to start off, in order to write a book, you need to have a story.
Right.
So what I did was, getting back to the previous comment about the crossover from filmmaking to author, I wrote a script called To Beta, Van Verden, and Back.
I remember that script.
And so that was the very first book. It was a short story, actually. That was the first story that I wrote. And actually, that short story is in Malachi's first anthology. It's up here.
One of those.
Yeah, as a short story. That Malachi's first anthology has 5 short stories in it. And those are all my early works.
Okay. So you wrote it, and then I assume you typed it up on your computer.
Right.
And now what do you do with it? Where does it go next?
Well, writing a book and putting it together and all that sort of stuff is an effort that is like unbelievable. You would think that you would just simply write out a Word doc and you'd be done.
But no.
No, it doesn't work that way. There's formatting issues and all kinds of things.
Editing. You got to have an editing.
Editing.
Yeah.
Probably the worst subject I had when I was in school was English.
There's
So write-
hope. There's hope for other folks then.
So writing's almost a joke if you look at how bad I am with English. So I would write these stories, and you put me onto a program called Grammarly.
Very helpful program.
Very good.
Yes.
So I take To Beta, Van Verden, I put it into Grammarly, and it comes back with 1,000 corrections.
Wow, that must have been a little daunting.
Oh, my point is that you don't just sit down at a computer and write a story and submit it to the publisher, Amazon in my case, and you're done. There's just tons of work that has to be done. So I get these 1,000 corrections, and you have to go through and change each and every one of them individually, and that's fine. I don't mind that. And then you submit it to Amazon, and they put it on their website, and it's up for sale. So that's it.
Okay, so now when when you say up for sale, they're going to produce the book for you.
Yes.
Okay, do you have any say over how that happens?
Only formatting.
Okay.
You submit it to them. You can buy the book, or anybody can buy the book back from them. But it just goes on your page. That's all. In other words, exposure.
Okay. Now, do they design the cover?
I design the covers myself.
Ah, okay, because that's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
And one thing that I want to tell the viewers is your book spine is your billboard to the world. When these books get to be in a library or in a bookstore, when people go by and checking them out, if that title doesn't interest them, they're never going to get into the book. So that's an important thing. All right. So would you like to mention one of your other books or a couple of them?
Well, how about the most recent one? I do mostly science fiction. But when I went to college, I took a filmmaking course, and I wrote papers on 4 different films. I was looking at them one day, and I went, holy cow, I got A's on all these papers. So I said, you know what? Good material for a book.
Right.
So I took the papers, and I started putting together a book around them, and all of a sudden, I submitted it to Grammarly, and that was almost like a joke, because they absolutely destroyed, even though I got an A on the paper, because it was a filmmaking course, and they didn't care about English, they cared about the filmmaking content. But it was awful. Those papers, Grammarly just absolutely chewed those things apart. Well, I rewrote all those papers so that it complied with proper English standards, and put the book together, and you can see there's a copy of it up there in the center. And it went to something like 39th on Amazon's, let me see if I can find it here. It went to 39 on Amazon's bestseller cinematography list.
Pretty good.
Well, it's not bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's not top 10. But the point being, 39 on Amazon, where they're selling thousands and thousands and thousands of books.
Yeah, that's
39's not bad.
good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other book we'd like to focus on?
Yeah, actually, I'm really deeply involved in a series I call the Aleph Chronicles. And Spiritual Destiny, which is one of the books up here, is the first installment of the Aleph Chronicles.
Okay.
The first 3 books of the Aleph Chronicles is called the Destiny Trilogy. So there's the spiritual destiny, the mental destiny, and the physical destiny. As you can see, the first one's done. The second one is like 95% done. The third one is like 90% done. So those will be coming up. And I do a lot of work in that area.
I'll bet you do.
Yeah.
Now, when I first heard the name Aleph, I didn't know what the heck that was. I just heard you tell someone that.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's funny. When I was doing this whole thing, I went, okay, I want something that has some meaning. And so since I'm into science fiction, I said, I want something that goes back to the past but relates to the present.
Okay.
So I found out that the first oldest known alphabet is, I can't remember the name of it, but the first letter of it is Aleph, and the last letter is Ta.
Okay.
So that's why Aleph to Ta. But,
But always a but.
Then I researched it further lately and found out that the first alphabet that's known, it isn't Aleph to Ta, it's Alp Tata. So this is the Alp Tata Chronicles that's listed on the Aleph Tata website.
All right.
I know, it's kind of messed up.
What can you do?
Yeah, I know.
Now, as a published, well, as a self-published author, do you feel differently than if you had been a published author?
You know, it's funny that you bring that up, Ron, because I've done a lot of work in that area. I sort of had the feeling that if I had a publisher, the sales would be better, the visibility would be better. As it turns out, you're almost better off self-publishing.
Why is that?
Because a publisher will be interested in your book only as long as there's decent sales. It's a business.
Right.
So they're going to hang in it with you for a couple weeks, a month, or whatever, but then they're going to want another book to fill in for that, and then another book after that to fill in for that. And I understand that. So you're almost better self-publishing because you're not going to give up on your book. You're going to keep promoting it, and you're going to keep wanting to sell it. You're going to keep wanting people to read it.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
We can do maybe one other book that you want to focus on.
Let's see here. Yeah, Confluence.
What kind of book?
It's a psychological drama.
Okay.
And the reason or the importance of Confluence is that's another movie script that I converted to a book.
Yeah.
And I wish I could find somebody a producer that was in it that would read that thing. It makes a heck of a good story. People have read that and said that's incredible, and the way that it goes, the twists and the turns that are unexpected, and it would make a perfect movie.
I think I've actually read that book myself. I enjoyed it, by the way.
Good.
Yes. Okay, so now before we go to our next topic, is there anything else that you wanted to say further with your books or the process?
Lately, this is almost contradicting, but what I'm doing lately is I'm taking all the books that I've done and I'm doing book reels for them.
What's a book reel?
All right. And when I say it's contradicting, that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
You would think people that read books wouldn't want a video to sell them on the book.
Huh.
But what I'm doing is I'm making little videos, they're like 1 minute or less, to promote each of the books.
That's a good idea.
Yeah?
Yeah, especially if you're a filmmaker, that's a good, you can do that.
And I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So step one was to do the reel, which the reel is something that covers every single book. It's maybe 7 minutes long or something like that. That's done, that's on YouTube, and it's being viewed. Now what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm doing an individual reel for each of the books to put on my website, so that you can go to the website, and if you, for instance, you go to Confluence, you click on the link and you'll see the 1 minute sales pitch for Confluence.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm spending a lot of my time on that right now.
Well, I'm going to hire you to do that for some of my books.
Okay,
All right.
Good.
That's cool. Now you have a couple of other areas that we would like to get into. One of them are movies. You are well known as an independent movie maker.
Well, thank you.
And there's a thing called IMDb
Yes.
that people can look up. I never heard of it before you started telling me about it.
Yeah.
So you take over and tell us about your filmmaking and IMDb and whatever else you like.
Okay. IMDb stands for Internet Movie Database.
Okay.
And I'm sure the vast majority of your audience probably knows that. And as of right now, I have 170 credits on IMDb. Well, that's an impressive number, yeah.
It is, yes.
But when you're an independent filmmaker, you do it all. You're the director, you're the producer, you're the writer, you're the editor, you're everything.
You are.
So you make a film, I get 5 or 6 credits just for one film. But nonetheless, 170, I'm taking this serious.
Yeah,
You're going to have to let me read this off.
you may. I give you
Um,
permission.
As far as film is concerned, I have 2 award-winning animation films. I have 2 finalists, 2 semi-finalists, 2 quarter-finalists. I have 112 films that have been shown at 64 different film festivals. And I have
Gee.
1 film that was shown at an art exhibition in Rome, Italy.
You the man.
You the man. And as of right now, I'm working on 4 films. I've gotten a lot into animation because of COVID. I didn't want to go on a set with people, so I started drifting to animation, and I'm doing a lot of work in that area. I'm working on 4 films right now that are animation.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I recently bumped into something that I have thought about for a long time. It's called a theremin. It's the only musical instrument that you can play without touching it. And it turns out that someone that I'm familiar with at our current library in Cheshire is very into. And so I recommended this gentleman, whose name is Jared Goldman, to this gentleman, and you found theremin quite interesting yourself.
Yes.
Give us a little thought about that.
Well, actually, after you told me that, I got a hold of Jared and I said, I'm working on a animation film called The Null Dominion. And it's a very abstract sort of thing. And I look at the theremin as a very abstract instrument.
Yeah.
So I said, Jared, would you be interested in doing the music for this? And he went, yeah. So he's working on that. And recently, in conjunction with that, the graphics that are in that program, there's a film festival called the Punta y Raya out of Spain
Okay.
that does abstract animation. In other words, you're not allowed to have any text. You're not allowed to have any pictures of anything physical. It is just abstract animation. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to call Jared and ask him if I redo that, so it's an abstract.
Yep.
Would he be interested in that? He says, yeah, of course.
Would I? Yeah.
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 So he's doing music for 2 different animation films that I'm working on right now.
Nice. Well, it turns out that you actually may be familiar with the theremin music if you've ever seen the science fiction movie called Fantastic Planet. I think that's what it is. Something like that. The music in that is the theremin, and that's where I first found out about it. And it turns out that Jared's been taking lessons for 7 years from someone named in Germany. There's not a lot of theremin players. So if you're ever interested in finding out about the theremin, go online, check it out, and you too could be a theremin player. Okay, so now, anything more in that area that you want to discuss?
Nah, not that I can think of.
All right, because we want to go through everything.
Okay.
Okay, so what's our next area?
The next thing is I do digital art.
Ah, digital art. You do it well, by the way.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. And I'm kind of proud of this, actually. My stuff is on Fine Art America. And right now I have 242,000 visitors to my page.
That's crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
And so I'm at the current rate, it looks to me as though I'm going to hit 250,000 visitors in the next 10 weeks. I've got 855 drawings on there,
Wow.
photographs. What I do is I take the best of the photographs that I've taken.
Right.
I'm working on a series right now. It's an architecture-based series. And I took pictures when we were at Martha's Vineyard of the gingerbread houses in Oaks Bluffs. And I've cut out a section that's very oriented to the architecture, removed the background, put in a grid that's very geometric, so that you have this geometric background and this very organic old front.
Nice.
With
Good
the
combination.
architecture.
Yeah.
And I'm working on that right now.
Okay, so now for the benefit of our viewing audience, the name of this site is Fine Art America or Fine Arts America?
Fine Art America.
Fine Art America. And I don't believe they charge for this service. Or maybe they get a percentage if you sell something. But we're not going to talk about sales, so we're not going to go there. But
Well,
People can go there and find out stuff.
Here's the thing about Fine Art America. You can sign up and get a free page.
Right.
It's limited to 25 drawings. If you want to go more than 25, they charge like $20, $30 a year.
Okay. So.
Which I do. And so instead of 25, I've got 855.
Okay. So we want to do, we're not promoting them. We just want to let people know that if they have an idea that they'd like to share someplace,
Right.
Fine Art America would be a good place to go.
Right.
Okay. Now, I think we have time to go a little bit farther into your background. And I never discussed this with you, so you may not want to go there.
Okay.
So
I can hardly wait.
When you told me this, I was very impressed. You actually created an automobile car. Well, obviously automobile, let's go start with that.
Yeah.
And I believe you called it the Hawk.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, not too many people ever decide to do that. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have anybody else on my show who has ever done that. Can you tell us a little bit about the Hawk?
There's a fellow here, I can't remember his name now. There's a fellow here in Connecticut that used to work for General Motors in the design department.
Come on.
No, this isn't step by step.
Right.
This is just one of the steps. And so I went to this guy and I said, I'm trying to start this sports car manufacturing company in Connecticut. And I said, but I need somebody to design the car. And he went, oh, I wouldn't be interested in doing that. About a week or two later, I get a text message, or not a text message, a voicemail from him. He goes, stop by the guard shack here at work. I've left a package for you.
Wow.
So I went to his company and I said, so-and-so left a package here for me. Can I have it? And he hands it to me and I go out to the car and I open it up. He designed the car, the body.
Right.
Not the running gear, the body. And I'm going, wow, that's incredible. And Ron, it was just everything. Whenever I ran into a wall, it was answered.
Yeah.
The state of Connecticut was even involved in this thing. But here's the funny thing, and this relates to everything that I do. It all comes down to money. Everything fell in place until it came time to get the money to actually do it.
Yeah.
And while I'm on that subject, the same is true with filmmaking and everything else.
Right. But let's not go too deep into that.
Well, I'd like to say that if there's anybody that would be interested in talking to me about funding one of my film projects or one of my other projects, I'd be more than happy to talk to them about that.
All right.
It always comes down to money.
Well, that's a thing for just about everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
True enough.
So the Hawk never made. I saw the plans and things that you showed me one time.
Yeah,
I was very impressed.
He did nice. Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Another story related to that.
Yep.
Putting the car together. You know, cars are made of hundreds and thousands of pieces.
Right.
And sure enough, I talked to somebody who said, you know, you need to talk to Joe up at so-and-so.
Yeah.
And I went and talked to this guy. And he sat down and he priced out the whole every single nut and bolt of the car.
That's amazing.
I know. It was like it was meant to happen until you got to where's the money.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so we're getting close to the end of the show. And I want to make sure that we got everything in that we wanted to get in. By the way, I think you should make a movie about the making of the Hawk car. There's a whole process there. I think people would be amazed. Well, maybe not.
Well, my time is so consumed right now with the Aleph Chronicles.
That's true.
I told you about the first 3 books.
Yep.
I estimate that series is going to be around 10 books. So that's going to take an awful lot of time.
Right. Okay. Now, I just came up with something in my stupid brain that people are talking about now that has some kind of bearing here. Artificial intelligence. And so I don't know if you have any thoughts about it in any of the realms of your existence or where you're working, but I do know that people are using AI to help them write books, write stories.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried it? Have you ever looked into it?
I'm thinking about writing a book called The Immortality Paradox.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting around and I'm thinking about it and I'm going like, what am I going to do and all that sort of stuff. So I go on one of the AI sites and I ask a question. What do you think about this? And this answer comes back to me and I'm going like, wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe that new this. I spent hours that whole night. And it was like a discussion with a person.
Yep.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's not done, but I just couldn't believe. How does this AI thing work that it has so much insight?
Yeah. I have a friend who has AI, and he calls his AI contact Glenn.
Glenn.
And one day we were sitting at a restaurant. I said, ask Glenn if he knows Ron Gagliardi. 3 seconds later, my entire existence comes back. And at the end of it, it said, and Ron's family is going to be having a memorial mass for him in a couple of weeks. So it actually produced my obituary.
Nice.
Yeah. So when I kick off, it's already set. So we're down to about a minute left. Anything you'd like to close with?
Yeah, I'd like to make one statement as far as AI is concerned.
Yep.
I don't ask AI to write the book.
Right.
It's my idea. I write the book. What I do is I have a conversation.
Right.
It's like you're talking to a college professor, and getting this information,
Yeah.
that reflection.
Give some suggestions.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being with us.